4. I'm Ted Barton along with Mark Hanratty as we look at the beautiful scenery around this area in the city of Grenoble below us. Mark, we have the junior pairs coming up. We've had a full day of competition already with 3 more events to come.
And what a privilege it really is for the junior pairs to be able to intersperse the senior events. What an honor it is for them to find themselves heading towards the closing stages of the Grand Prix and the Grand Prix final in Grenoble.
It's so interesting what we have not only seen on the ice, but the conversations we've had with coaches, ISU officials, Federation officials, our colleagues, of course, and watching the skating. And it's exciting to know that the sport is going to have numerous new ideas and new changes. I don't know what those are exactly. We're not going to articulate that, but the people are energized to reinvent, not the content of the sport necessarily, but what's around it.
And I think, you know, you and I have the opportunity to comment on the skating and to comment on some of the stuff that we hear. What I suppose we could, I could acknowledge is perhaps borderline controversial, is that I hear lots of very vehemently passionate ideas, and some of that is hard to articulate and hard to kind of figure out how that would help push the sport forwards. What is good to hear is that there is passion.
Yes.
There is a lot of passion from some ardent supporters of the sport who want to see it excel, and we thank them for that passion, and now we just need to find a collaborative way of finding something that will fit for all.
That's very true. Not all ideas are good, for sure, but ideas, the effort to bring them forward, that's important. As we take a look backstage at the athletes in the junior pair free program getting ready, the first group anyways. And I think it's kind of cool. I like this presentation. We see them backstage as they will be introduced, but look at that little fist bump there. Nice.
And for all the nerves that the athletes must feel, that's a special moment. Sharing, you know, a fist bump with an athlete from representing a different nation at a world-class event in a different country for all.
Yeah, it's exciting. And those athletes, you know, have been here in this building for a long time, with a number of days now, rubbing shoulders with the seniors and watching their practice sessions with their colleagues as well. This is an experience they will not forget, and they'll want to relive this by making it back or making it to the World Championship. So this is wonderful for the moment, but it inspires the next moment.
And I think particularly, as we said, poignant for the junior pairs, because the senior pairs event is over now. We have seen the champions Minerva, Fabian Hazan, Nikita Volodin here to support their ice dance training mates in the arena. And so you wonder if that adds an extra excitement and an extra pressure perhaps for these juniors, because they're the final pair event.
Yeah, and we talked about this, that, you know, watching your teammates cheer for you, it inspires you, and it also says, I not only want to do this for myself, I want to do this for my flag, my nation, my parents, my family, my teammates back at home. And so there's this inspiration of something greater than just yourself.
And we have seen through the course of this last day of competition already, such emotion. And when you detail all of the people that are not counting, but looking forward to supporting these athletes, you can understand the reason behind that emotion, so much to represent.
And here we go. The countdown is now finished, and our first team will be presented. From Canada, 18-year-old Julia Quattrocchi and 20-year-old Simon Desmarais. They are, and they also just competed at the challenge event in Winnipeg, qualifying event for the national championships. And our second team represents Japan, Sei Shimizu and Nuka Tsuyoshi Onda. And from France, 14-year-old Romane Telemaque and 18-year-old Lucas Coulon.
I'm never quite sure, because we haven't seen this entry onto the ice, whether the athletes feel a need and an urgency to run on, or whether it's excitement that's causing them to run on.
Some have, but tripped.
Yes.
So the others watching, they go, maybe I'll walk on, I'm not sure.
And then the steams of the plumes teams seem to have gone. Maybe that was a little bit too daunting for some of the athletes who got a fright.
Yes, they were putting up steams or clouds of steam or whatever it is on the side. We don't see that anymore. Maybe they ran out, I don't know. So the junior pair event, interesting. You don't see, what will we not see in this event compared to the senior pairs? You won't see probably the speed for sure, and in some cases the throws. You'll see throw triples here, there's no question. Not the same quality or difficulty yet, but in some elements, yes.
No, and also the pairs event just blows my mind. It's just such an incredible feat that the athletes achieve. But because the physicality of the elements they have to use in their junior free skate are so intense, that perhaps has been the reason that we don't see the same kind of emotional interpretation that we saw from the likes of Minerva and Nikita, the champions in the senior discipline.
Yeah, and this cannot, I've never seen that in junior pairs. I mean, because to teach two things at one time, the technical elements, the skating skills are the basis of the discipline itself. The emotional commitment and the storytelling is something completely different, of which only generally comes along at a little later stage of your life as you grow up.
And as we look at, say, Shimizu and Lucas Tsuyoshi Honda, they are a wonderful example that gives us a greater appreciation for pairs, because Sei and Lucas are such brilliant single skaters. They both competed at Japanese national championships. They can jump all the triples.
You can clearly see when you watch that team how strong they are in one aspect, and under development, under construction on some of the pair elements are significantly a little bit weaker than some of the other teams at this stage.
And so that's a confirmation that you can be a wonderful single skater, but time, you cannot replace time in learning the discipline and the lifts and the twist and the death spiral.
Anything great in life pretty much simply takes time. Unless you win $1 million a slot machine. But
and now there's the lady that makes the flower crowns. Now the flower crowns are a thing of prestige for some of the competitors, because when they're given one off the ice, I think I've seen some of the skaters posting on their social media their joy at being given a flower crown appropriate to their color of their costume. So got a little glimpse of her.
Piece of information. That was a nice throw, triple sock out.
And Romane, Telemaque and Lucas Coulon will be hoping to really embrace this opportunity. Look at Romane. I think that's amazing that they can be so aware. We were talking in one of the previous events about the pressure of competition and how the adrenaline can really impact a skater. I don't think I was aware of an audience when I competed, because I was so overwhelmed with the pressure of the event. Lucas and Romane are in the moment and conscious that they can acknowledge the heartwarming support of the crowd that are here.
So now, knowing what you know, having seen what you have seen, would you be a different competitor?
Yes, I think everybody has mental training can make them stronger. So we talk so much about the physicality, about, in the pairs event, the mental training for the physical education and strength. Mental training doesn't perhaps get given the time that the physical training does. So I think inherently I am, as a human, a person that would get anxious in competition, and that can be overridden with lots of mental training. So I'd have to do a lot of it.
So the answer is yes?
The answer is yes.
Because you know more now?
Yes, true. Okay.
There, that's what I'm looking for.
That's all I needed to
just
do.
A short
just
answer.
A one-word yes or no mark. Cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Crack on.
No, because when you talk about it, you understand it a lot more now. You probably would not have been able to articulate that and go to your coach and say, hey, I'm having concerns. I'm too stressed out, and I'm not sure where this is coming from, and all that kind of stuff, right? So in those days, perhaps it was more, nobody really kind of knew why people were nervous and other people were controlled, or what,
I say this, and yeah, I still have to go and do performances with much less pressure or responsibility lying on my shoulders than these athletes do, and yet I still
but you have a television audience like of millions, and you go to the grocery store and everybody knows who you are. Like, hey, look, Mark Henrighty's buying lettuce, right?
Shrubs.
Shrubs. There you go. As we just come close to the conclusion of the warm-up for the first group.
And that's amazing to see the support made, banners made for Romane and Lucas.
Yeah. So much fun to put the audience on the camera and the screen. They love it.
And that's another factor that's great for the sport, is that we want to entice more and make events in our figure skating community some place that everybody wants to be at.
Yeah, if you admire these athletes, please come out and see them live and support them in the arenas. It's so important. It's so exciting for them and for you. This environment is electric, and we'll continue to grow as we lead into the senior men's final, perhaps the premier event, of the Grand Prix final. We'll see.
And hopefully the excitement that the junior pairs have in being one of the final events, and certainly the final junior event, hopefully doesn't prevent them from being able to absorb the chance to watch the likes of Ilya Malinin and Yuma Kageyama that are to follow yet to come today.
Yeah. You can see the face painting and the flags. It's great. In France, you know, every culture is different. We have our strengths and our weaknesses in every single culture, as the French bear is waving. And
well, we saw one of those go on for the German ice dance team of Daria Grimm and Mikhail Savitsky. We're seeing...
Oh, that's great.
They need to come up here and give Mr. Barton a little face paint. That's what they need.
Why? I know I need it. Rather insulting there, Mark. Just kidding. Here we go. Okay, there's some high fives, some energy, some excitement by their first team. We represent Canada. And the junior pairs free begins right now with 18-year-old Julia Quattrocchi and 20-year-old Saman Desmarais.
And this team skates well in the short program, achieving a new ISU personal best of 47.7 points, hoping to achieve yet again another personal best for their free skate.
Yeah, 91.94 is their season's best. I'd like to top that right now as they skate to Sign of the Times by Harry Styles.
Welcome to the final show. I hope you're wearing your best clothes. We never learned we've been here before. Why are we always stuck and running from the bullets? The bullets. We never learned we've been here before. Why are we always stuck and running from your bullets? The bullets. Just stop your crying, it's a sign of the times. We gotta get away from here. We gotta get away from here. Just stop your crying, it'll be alright. It's only that the end is near. We gotta get away from here.
Well, you can see on their faces just the overjoyed. That was a surprise. That's the best I've ever seen this team do. And you had mentioned, because I thought this team skated calmly in control, and you had mentioned before a conversation you had with Stephanie Valois, their coach.
Well, I saw their coach just in the skaters' lounge moments ago, and I thought, oh my goodness, she seems so remarkably chilled and calm. I felt more nervous for her, and yet she just exuded a calm, which suggests that she has the most wonderful perspective. The athletes must be well trained. She knows what they're capable of. She knows what they're able to do. And I remember actually from chatting with Stephanie about the work that she and Yvan Desjardins do at l'École Excellence Rosemère about the athletes and the humans. And so perhaps that's given the perspective of treating them as this is an experience in your life rather than you're defined by what you do in the ice. And it seems to have been, certainly in this case, the perfect perspective, because that was a stellar opening.
Absolutely. And this team was skated a little nervous in the short program. And they weren't, you know, it was a big moment, a big stage and exciting. But on this day, they were in complete control and enjoyed it all the way through. Look at the unison, how close together they are on the double axles. Nicely done.
And in the moment, that was, I think, the second element early on in the program, and yet so composed, so assured, so together.
Look at the smile as she sits on top of that lift. A feeling of joy and just to be there, but adds so much to the performance. Here's the throw triple Salchow. This was solid as we watch him get out of the way, pass her through up into the air. Nice position, maybe a touchdown with the hand, but good solid landing. And there's the coach, calm still.
Yeah, and you know, as we see the double lutz and the single axel, look, they were so close, and their timing here, the knee action here, the use of the arms, so well matched. Of course it wants to be double axels, it wants to be of increased technical score difficulty, and they have suggested that they will do that towards Canadian nationals. Simon and Julie had explained that they were wanting to showcase the confidence they've gained from the last Grand Prix, and they felt they made progress with their elements. They'll increase the difficulty in due course.
This is a defining moment for this team because I think they realize their capacity and their capabilities now. This all came together with a lot of hard work up and down to get to this point. Great job. 91.94 is their season's best, and this is a 91.43 first team out. Regardless of the numbers, they know this was a huge victory for them.
They've conducted themselves
beautiful.
incredibly well. Their families are at home right now, hopefully cheating like mad, and rightly so.
Team number 2 represents Japan. 19-year-old Sei Shimizu and 22-year-old Luka Tsuyoshi Honda.
And we see, hopefully within this free skate, some of the best and most valuable side-by-side jumping passes of both junior and senior competition.
Strong solo skaters and still developing in pairs, but here they are in the final. And much to be gained by this experience and that of others in the senior category who are now in the stands watching this team. 92.15, a season's best. They will skate, declared Alun.
fading light shining through the curtains. The time before the night when everything is golden. You're sitting on the chair, wrapped inside a bedsheet, playing with your hair, watching people on the high street. If I wished myself a superpower, I would make this moment last for hours. If I had my will, time would just stand still, wait for me until I find some magic film to take a photograph, live inside.
Japan's Sei Shimizu and Lucas Tsuyoshi Honda complete the free skate, a piece of choreography that I believe they used last season as well, and a delicate piece which showcases their delicate skating so perfectly.
Yeah, what a good choice of music and pace for this young team that is still developing. We've seen the strength and the solo elements and the strength in their skating skills as well. And some of the para elements are really improving. Still the throw is under construction, and that'll get better only in time.
But for context, a team that were 14th at the Junior World Championships in March last season and now find themselves within the top 6 in the world, justifiably so. And interestingly, as we talked about the quality of their side-by-sides, their jump sequence it has a higher value than any of the senior teams. So where they have work to do, they still have some of the best elements in the world.
They really pack in the elements, like 11.99 points on that jump sequence, and that's a huge amount. That's a huge gain.
Well, the highest senior jump sequence was 10.86.
Yeah. So what a bonus to having those individual skills, and still those para elements will continue to get better. So more to come.
Now take a photograph is the music, and that's the camera in place for the choreography by Kathy Reed.
A double twist in at level 3 though. 3 out of the 4 features. There's the triple lutz. Different timing perhaps. But given the clean, or the edge call perhaps, and quarter on the 2 double axles.
So that
brought down to 2,
dropped
down to 10.48.
But don't you feel the team is so perfectly suited for future success to follow the likes of Miura and Kihara? There you can see the struggle still with the throws, and
more of a twist than a real throw at this moment, but that's okay. Look at that. Nice position, toes turned out, change of hold, change of position. There's the forward inside death spiral. That is in at a level 1. Just got missing 3 features for the 4, but still learning, but very well.
And they could find themselves in contention. There aren't massive front runners as the seasons progress, although this team will be looking to move up next season to seniors. Who knows, maybe trying to vie for a spot at the Olympic Winter Games.
A good foundation down, really, and be part of the team event perhaps at the Olympics, you know, for Japan. Who knows, but probably not with the senior team that they have, but
they've got a quality of skating skills based on their own single skating prowess as well.
Yeah.
So many.
Well, 92.15 is their season's best in the free program, and they're going to come pretty close to beating that score here. at the Junior Grand Prix final.
Lucas
Yeah.
clasping his hands in prayer.
95.46, season's best for Say and Lucas. Well done.
And great choice to enter into pairs from a skating nation so strong in singles.
Yeah.
Lots of opportunities for them ahead.
Well, up next, the team that represents France, Romane Telemaque and Lucas Coulon.
And you know, we're really witnessing now, we're looking into a huge moment. There's the mom, the coach, and this a great piece of choreography as well for our junior team. Some storytelling being showcased from the start from Romane Telemaque and Lucas Coulon.
Well, Mark, they seized the moment.
Oh, there's the mama.
This is the moment that many athletes dream about at home in front of friends and family, colleagues,
Romane, Telemaque, Coulon.
skating their best, whatever that is. And this team laid it down.
Just wonderful. And again, like the Japanese that went before them, a team that are stepping into the pairs community. Romane new to pairs just a couple of years into it and embracing all the opportunities it presents. And they might not have known when they started the discipline as pair skaters that they would have this experience of being Junior Grand Prix finalists in front of an utterly adoring crowd. And we've seen other French skaters unable to manage the pressure of the home crowd. These youngsters at 14 and 18 years old respectively have just, it's like the energy of the home crowd has fueled them. Oh, that's so special.
An acute, innovative, and eye-catching
She's
moment at the top of the program.
A doll is the concept behind the choreography by Louis Tarrant, who is here with them, former French ice dancer.
Here's the throw, triple flip, a little touchdown with the foot, but still mechanically beautifully done.
Of course, we could critique and analyze where there could be progress here. There's another touchdown, so that left foot will be something, of course, they're working on, but
she's in alignment. She doesn't even need to do it, but she doesn't know that yet. That'll come, I'm sure, with the next.
And I don't think it's about, like, okay, double flip, 2 single axles. Yes, of course, it has to become more difficult in terms of its value. But this was a moment in people's lives, like, you know, even if they go into seniors and they have triple flip, double axle, they might never have that. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. And that's mom and coach. Like, how stressed out is she right now? Like, she must be beside herself.
And moms back home that watch their children.
That's hard enough.
Yeah, that's hard enough. And that shot there of their mother was lived by many others.
Yeah, true.
Moment of pride. And sometimes thousands of miles away. She was lucky to be here.
Yeah, well, lucky.
Yeah, as the camera's right in her face, right? What a great job by Romain Telemaque and look at Coulon of France. Their season's best is 90.01, and we might see another season's best here. We haven't seen many.
Well, we saw tears from them in the kiss and cry when they weren't sure if they'd made mistakes at the last Grand Prix and ruled themselves out of competing at the final. There was such emotion for them then. Yeah. I think we might be treated to even more wonderful emotional reaction upcoming.
Here we go. Free program score for Romain and Lucas. Season's best, 95.04. That is second in the free program with a total competition of 146.38 as they take the lead.
Yay.
So much joy for so many reasons, some of what we just witnessed and some we will never know.
Yeah, I want to thank them for that excitement.
So far, so good, Mark.
Oh, well done to the teams.
Are you exhausted yet?
Yeah, this roller coaster of emotions is too much for me.
Better not be. You're stuck to your chair there, buddy. Our next group, we start with Olivia Flores and Wang from the United States.
Lion King.
Okay.
They're well done. They're taking it now to a new level.
Exactly. They just set the standard for entrance. From Canada, Jazmine, Desrochers, Kieran, Thrasher.
I'm more composed and
a little bit more
approach
Let's
there.
get on the ice safely.
Representing People's Republic of China, Jiaxuan.
And representing China, Jiaxuan, Zhang, and Yihang Wang. Another careful couple.
Skaters, you can start your warm-up now.
Well, there's good spread between the first and second, 7 points. That would be tough to make up. But possibly for the Americans, they're about 3 points behind the Canadians. We'll see what happens.
And the American team that will open this group there, Olivia Flores, alongside her partner Luke Wang, have the experience of being Junior Grand Prix finalists before. At this event in Beijing 12 months ago, they were in 5th place. So they'll be perhaps relieved to find themselves within contention of another medal. But that said, I think they have the potential. They have certainly the side-by-side jumping difficulty and tech difficulty to compete with the Canadians above them.
Lots can happen. We'll see in just a few moments.
And they saw Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea in the senior event. Surprising that their training mates in the senior category are already completed now. I wonder if Ellie and Danny are in the venue supporting.
Yeah, and you wonder whether the seniors give any sort of advice to the juniors, you know, as they travel together sometimes and certainly stay at the same hotel.
But the perfect example would next be for Jazmine Desrochers and Kieran Thrasher. Jazmine on the screen now. They train with Miura and Kihara, the Japanese team who were second in the pairs senior event.
In Oakville, Ontario, with Bruno Marcotte and Megan Duhamel.
And saw them in the break after the victory ceremony of the previous events, and they were super chilled looking as well. You Canadians are keeping it cool backstage.
Oh yeah, kind of chilled group of people.
Yeah.
Except for hockey players. They're not so chilled.
From Canada, Jazmine Desrochers, Kieran, Thrasher.
And I love that the emotional storytelling between that team. They have a certain connection that is a certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, no, there's something special, and you know, still developing. Second year of partnership, with much more to come. As we take a look at the Chinese team, and they have been stellar consistently in the Junior Grand Prix. You can see huge throws, and you know, perhaps the performance will continue to improve with this team, but they've under great guidance, and we've often talked about Wei Shui, of course, Olympic champion, bringing this young woman emotion out in her performance. And
Well, interestingly, Wen Shui, the Olympic champion, has officially announced her comeback, and the goal of competing in the Olympics again in Milan is a new profile of a partnership between her and Xin Li, and that was listed on the ISU website. So perhaps their choreographer might be a little bit busy soon to help them out.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Live, laugh, look. That the motto for Olivia Flores and Luke Wang.
Well, you heard that first here. Well,
Oh, there's Ellie and Danny. That's good to see.
there they are.
I felt like I jinxed it by saying I wonder if they're in the venue to support, and true enough, they've been found to support their training
We've
mates.
seen that young man a number of times.
I don't know who
He's
he
happy to
is,
be
but
here. Hopefully he's a young skater. as with this young woman as well.
Slovakian skater. She's been
Yeah.
caught a few times.
There's some Canadian supporters.
Nobody's told her yet.
Yeah, exactly. She hasn't looked up at the screen yet.
But kudos to the production team for helping to entertain the audience here and hopefully provide some merriment and amusement.
It's been a really good mix between the coverage of the athletes and the emotion of the performances, as well as the audience engagement.
I
In
wonder,
all ages here.
I wonder if that generation knows quite how to cope with the on-screen.
Yeah, I do.
Well, yes,
I do.
those youngsters do. Oh, they're leaving too soon. People need to keep their eye on the big screen and see when they're caught. Candidly. Oh, they know.
Oh, yeah. Well, as we wind down on this evening, the Grand Prix, the Junior and Senior Grand Prix final. A couple more events to follow, of course, the dance and the men's might be just the premier event. Both of them, perhaps. We'll see.
Well, I have to say, as we look to the final minute of the junior pairs free skate warm-up, that the volume of support in the men's practice was exciting. There was a rock star status being sensed.
And everybody felt like, can you believe what we just saw? I mean, not of Ilya Malinin, but of many of the other skaters. It defies gravity, and I don't mean through the jumping. I mean through some of the choreography as well. It's quite remarkable, and you'll see that coming up a little bit later this evening.
Oh, you don't want to miss it, and there's going to be potentially more groundbreaking jump combinations to come.
Yeah.
We saw
Could be
triple
history.
axels.
Is it history? Would it be history?
It would be triple axel Euler quad salto we saw in practice. That would be the first time that has ever been done in competition. Although sometimes, Ted, you and I get told that we're jinxing people by aforementioning some of the results. Let it be known, we only wish them all the best. We don't want to jinx anybody.
I would think we've been lucky with that. I mean,
So,
we
yeah.
have mentioned it, but it's
Come good.
Yeah, it's come good. So, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Mesdames, Messieurs, les choses vont être terminées.
A little bit more serious. Here we go. Final 3 in the junior pair free program. Medals to be won.
Need to turn their paper plate so we can see.
This moment was just a thought in June and July as they started their programs and started the journey and got their choreography and had their costumes made and planned their training. And here they are. From the United States, 17-year-old Olivia Flores and 20-year-old Luke Wang.
A team that said that they have no expectations for the event because they feel they still have so much room to grow as a team. Nevertheless, they'll be hoping to at least cling on to the 3rd place that they find themselves starting the free skate in.
Skating to Spirit by Beyonce and the Lion King.
Olivia Flores and Luke Wang absolutely bringing in this free skate, the 30th anniversary of the Lion King, the music that they chose to inspire them. And we've seen it obviously on the Junior Grand Prix series, but not quite like this. And both skaters so emotive.
It doesn't matter how often you hear that music, there's some sort of special spirit that lives within. Feels the skater.
Absolutely. And it was interesting listening to the podcast with their coach Drew Meekins about the wish to push the male skaters to have a voice, to be expressive and emotive, and Luke Wang absolutely does that. And they make a great team, different characters, different energies.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a special performance, and they skated well technically, no question, but emotionally connected, and that doesn't often happen in pairs. You know, the program itself, we talked about that because elements take so long to develop, but what a wonderful performance this is. There's the triple twist off the top, level 3. So 3 out of the 4 features were accomplished. 5.78 points for that. Here's the double axles at the top. That was nice. Nice and tight in the air. Landing at the same time. Single axle there for Olivia. And for Drew.
Team M&M, Natalie Mishkatina and Drew Meekins, who are doing such a brilliant job, and the teams that they're working with in the World Arena in Colorado Springs. This where they struggled a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit too far forward on the toe picks, but not a big deal. Losing a little bit of speed, but still a solid lift near the end of the program.
And actually, on both of the lifts, just indicating a base value, no positives or minus, and that giving them the room for growth that they are open to acknowledging that they have. But
a little kiss to the ice. Wow, that was fun.
Yeah, junior pairs bringing it.
They are bringing it. They're inspired. Maybe because the seniors are watching them. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Well, 92.87 is their season's best. I think they're going to like this. A 103.78. That's a 11-point increase in their season score. That's huge. I expected a bigger reaction. How about you?
Simba.
There you go. Well, that puts them into first place with a 155.82. Great job. Wonderful moment. Now for the Canadian team that had to witness at least a portion of that and the emotion in the building and hear the score. In second, currently, Jazmine, Desrochers, Kieran, Thrasher.
Really lovely, lovely team. They had a difficult warm-up, though. But I think in the Junior Grand Prix series, we saw that tough warm-ups that were followed up by strong skates, and we hope that for them now.
And they'll skate to Since I've Been Loving You by Led Zeppelin. Well, no question, this was a tough program. The throws are hit and miss. We know that already. And then another mistake as well. Tough program to skate to. I get the concept. And I think they physically could do this, but it's still technically under development. And it was difficult to connect with the music.
You know what's really amazing is I don't know who that is in the crowd there supporting. I suspect it's a family member. And it looks like a person that doesn't care that that wasn't a good skate because the love for the people on the ice is so great.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely a difficult skate. And I think that they have, as I said in warm-up, they have a certain charisma and energy about them which could pull off Led Zeppelin, but the elements are still a little elusive to be able to let them tap into the emotional commitment that they can give that piece.
Yeah. And this could take time. Again, we've so often said this. This is just halfway through the season. So there's more time, more work, more training, and more consistency to help put the program to the level that it was designed for.
And as we look at the opening split twist, probably the best of the elements for Jazmine and Kieran. And looking back, and having heard from their coach, Megan Duhamel, who's explained that the 1 foot landings have been happening, this is a reflection of the pressure of competition. I saw Jazmine struggling with the double axel in the warm-up. She managed to get that one done. 2-footed the one that is coming up now. And actually did well not to go down.
Yeah.
And I feel, Ted, that as we look at the lift, that this team has the potential to give this that no other junior team could. Serving them up for seniors, you almost feel like this is a senior team in the making, that they're going to come to their own as seniors. I love that.
Totally. You have to peel past the mistakes. The mistakes were here tonight. We can't ignore that. They were. It wasn't their best skate, this is for sure. But when you start to look down at the skill development that they currently have or what they need, when that all gets put together, they're going to be very dynamic. They already are dynamic, but they're going to be even more so. Tough night. But a night they'll learn from. Let's take a look at the scores. They have a 100.36 season's best, and they're going to fall, of course, a little short on that. It's a 97.54. That is second in the free program with a total competition score of 152.82, and that'll put them in the second. So they will take a medal with one team to come. The leaders after the short program, 17-year-old Jiaxuan Zhang and 22-year-old Yihang Wang.
A team that come into the free skate with a very, very comfortable and healthy margin after their success in the short program, but I think they will be looking to try to beat their personal bests from the Junior Grand Prix in Riga.
105.55 is their season's best, and they'll skate to all for one.
The
Jiaxuan, Zhang, and Yihang Huang from China, the final team showcasing a performance, certainly at very least in the technical element score, in a different league from any of the other 5 teams that they were up against thus far.
No question. You know, technically the elements are seniorish, are starting to come along. The throws, of course, are just spectacular. It's step out on one of them, of course, but a more all-rounded team, I would say.
And you know, as we make those comparisons between maybe the Japanese team, who we've seen already, who have single skating prowess, and then we saw some other teams that were perhaps earlier formed as pair skaters. This is the best cross between their individual skills and their pairs prowess.
Yeah, exactly. Better all-rounded team at this stage, and they will clearly move to seniors at some point and transition very easily, as we see the transitional lifts. And watch the twist here, the steps, the hands at the side, the catch of the waist, so clean and tidy, but just a level 2, so missing 2 of the features, not getting 2 of the features. Here's the triple toe loops, good unison up into the single axle and double axle at the end, quarter on the double axle call.
Yang Ding, the coach, watching as they launch into the step out of the throw triple flip.
And you know, it's interesting, some of the women enjoyed to be up in that air, just have a big smile on their face, enjoying the ride type of thing. But
I wonder, as we look at this monstrously big throw triple loop, where they will take the components next. They have Wen Sui working with the choreography. For me, it'll be the skating skills that they'll need to continue to work on and refine. And so many of the single skaters from different nations will use ice dance influence. There's not a strong ice dance influence in their home nation, so I wonder where they'll push themselves, because they're leading this and winning this comfortably, but they'll be wanting more scores-wise.
But their pair teams have been able to really emote and tell stories. We've seen that through the history of Chinese pair skating. They've been able to connect. We'll see what happens with this young team. But 105.55 is their season's best, and this score is a 113.15 season's best, new season's best. That's first. They take the title. They were clearly in a different field. They had 2 thumbs up, it's sort of casually. There's a 176.09 as they become the champions.
And could that be the biggest margin of a win
it's
in
huge.
the Junior or Senior Grand Prix final?
21 points. As they calmly
Very
accept
calmly.
the title. Yeah, I know, it's sort of like, there it is, the final standings. 176.09, 155.82, and 152.82 as well. And some good performances.
Well,
Olivia and Luke, they had a really emotional performance.
I actually feel like 2nd, 4th, and 6th were probably the best performances per the skaters, based on what we assumed that they would be able to deliver on their quality coming into this event. And it was really emotional from the Lion King and from the French team. And that was such a moment for the French team in front of the home crowd.
It's a really good point, you know. But carry on.
As we see Jazmine, Desrochers, and Kieran, Thrasher, the only team to swap in the rankings and the standings following the short program to the free skate from second after the short to third overall.
Oh, it was a challenging night, but lessons will be learned, and I think they'll bring that forward as they move on to the national championships in Laval, Quebec in January.
Good team,
on
though.
to the Junior Worlds. Oh yeah, a good team that night. And as we take a look here at Olivia, Flores, and Wang, and we know what an emotional performance that was, but also some pretty good technical elements as well. Great fight throughout the program.
And the form that they are returning to could help them to go back to the World Junior podium. Now, they were silver medalists at World Juniors, and this silver medal at the Grand Prix Final 2024. And the best extensions, best pointed toes, I think. Of the group.
And look at those moments of joy.
But it was indisputable that Jiaxuan, Zhang, and Yihang Huang from China would take the title. Comfortable leading the short program, and they extend it even further by some way in the free skate. And we excitedly look forward to what this team will do for the remainder of the season, heading towards the World Junior Championships in 2025. And there's time for an extra rotation on the throws, should that be their pursuit of more points. We shall see.
Well, that concludes the coverage of the junior pairs, and that finishes the junior categories as we move on to the senior free dance, which is coming up, and that will be ever so exciting. Stay with us.